aka Trigger Ranking. So basically, man, bro, we gotta get into this. We gotta get into the elephant in the room right now, bro. Like the elephant in the room is Charlie Kirk. Um, I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, hit notification bell. Wherever y'all coming in from, y'all basically let me know city, state, province, all that. Um, but we gotta talk about this, bro. Like, anybody that has free speech in America should be scared right now. I'm gonna repeat that. Anybody, I'm on my Umar Johnson shit right now. Anybody that has free speech in America right now should be afraid because someone that probably ain't never been locked up, never did no back doors, ain't never probably carried he might have carried a gun before, but I'm just saying this man lived a life where he just had his opinion. A lot of people don't agree with the opinion. They don't. But just because he had his opinion, they took his life, and that's horrible. That's horrible. We about to look at Poetic Flacco first, man. Uh, and then after that, we're going to. I'll probably go to Law and Crime and see what they talking about. But yeah, we're gonna have to get into this, bro. This is. I
You
don't.
did send a date yesterday, right?
Yes.
Rematch at the bowling lanes?
Thought you'd never ask.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Y'all got my attention now, bro. I'm sitting up straight for this, man. There are
Y'all
things
check
being
out
thrown
Poetic
out there,
Flacco.
not by the idiots, not by stupid people, not by the nincompoops. We would just naturally ignore it because they're stupid. But it's being thrown out there by smart people, by very smart people. And the theories are that Charlie Kirk may have been taken out by his second greatest ally, second to the United States, Israel. He said, he wrote me a letter on May 2nd this year. He said, one of my greatest joys as a Christian is advocating for Israel and forming alliances to defend Judeo-Christian civilization. Not by stupid people, not by the nincompoops. We would just naturally ignore it because they're stupid. But it's being thrown out there by smart people, by very smart people. And the theories are that Charlie Kirk may have been taken out by his second greatest ally, second to the United States, Israel. He said, he wrote me a letter on May 2nd this year. He said, one of my greatest joys as a Christian is advocating for Israel and forming alliances to defend Judeo-Christian civilization. A few weeks before the tragedy yesterday, I called him and I spoke to him and I said, please come to Israel. I invited him to Israel. And sadly, that visit will not take place. But he was a defender of our common Judeo-Christian civilization. He was unbelievably excited to walk in the footsteps of Jesus here. He valued our bond, the bond between America and Israel. He did so many things to defend free speech. He had his truth. He stood up for it. But he said, you can come.
Like I said earlier, we got free speech. If you feel the way you feel, I can't like that's basically saying I can control a person. You feel the way you feel, I feel the way I feel. But if we don't fuck with each other, we ain't even gotta, you know, be in the same vicinity of each other. So at the end of the day, like by me not being in the same vicinity of the person that I don't like, that's why we have such a big globe. Like if I don't want to be near you, I don't gotta deal with you. We could disagree from afar. We don't gotta, but this right here, to do what you did to this man right here. I like this rough right here, dog. This some
debate me.
real shit
He
right here,
invited
bro.
that debate. He certainly didn't invite the violence, the horrible violence that tried to silence him. And this is a worldwide problem. The people on the extremes, the Islamists, the radical Islamists, and their union with the ultra progressives, they often speak about human rights. They speak about free speech, but they use violence to try to take down their enemies, whether it's President Trump, who's been almost assassinated twice, or they try to kill me here too.
Charlie Kirk ain't been dead for 24 hours, and BB is already on national television using Charlie Kirk's death for Israel propaganda. Charlie Kirk wrote me a letter, and in his letter, he says his life mission is to support Israel. Now he's dead, y'all gotta carry on his life mission. Y'all gotta support Israel too. I mean, the same people who killed Charlie Kirk, even though we don't have the identity of who killed Charlie Kirk, but the same people who killed Charlie Kirk are the same people who don't like Israel. They've been telling you guys that I'm a genocidal war criminal. You gotta support me because Charlie Kirk will support me. This dude is shameless. Do you not know? Now, he expressed that Charlie Kirk was his good friend, but the one thing we know, if there's one person who got a good back cross in his pocket, is BB. Oh, we see what happened in Qatar, bro. They showed up for peace negotiations and BB took them out. No shame whatsoever, bro. Now, the reason why, though, the foreign entity being accused of taking out Charlie Kirk is gaining steam is because we still don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. Whoever did this
We don't know.
is savvy enough, is skilled enough to where they were able to trick the FBI not once, not twice, but 3 different times. The FBI arrested.
Bro, this shit crazy, bro. This shit is like, it is a murder mystery. It's definitely a murder mystery. But it's like, this shit like a movie right now, bro. This shit like, bro, I've been on movie mode. Like, you know how you can put your speakers to play in like movie mode and shit? Like, bro, this movie mode, like this theater mode right here, bro. Like that shit, it hit so hard. It was damn near like a Marvel DC movie with I'm talking about like a evil villain in that bitch. Like, this shit crazy, dog.
Different suspect, and they still haven't gotten the right one yet.
And we all lost, no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, we lost something important in America today. But the case goes on, the investigation goes on. There's a lot of piecing of evidence together. We don't have a shooter tonight. We have a couple leads, a couple of people that were released that probably aren't the shooter. There's a couple hot leads. There's a little bit of foreign intelligence. And I think over the next couple of days, we will learn a lot more, and hopefully we will bring to justice the evil person who did what they did to Charlie Kirk.
What does that even mean?
His kids still fucking armed babies, bro. Like, they young babies, bro. Like, bro, I don't care how he felt about whoever, bro. Like, this shit shouldn't have happened to him. I'm just saying, this right here shouldn't have happened to this man, bro.
Play here. Why will foreign intelligence only at play if the government and the FBI and the people who are investigating this believe that a foreign nation sent the hit on Charlie Kirk? Now, the thing is, what foreign nation would have an invested interest in what Charlie Kirk did? Who and what? That's where Harrison Smith comes into play. Apparently, somebody who was linked to Charlie Kirk, they made a tweet last month, actually, on the 13th of August. And the tweet says, Charlie Kirk believes that if he goes against Israel and BB, that they will kill him. Now, this was a tweet that was put out a month prior, a month before his death.
Damn.
With no inkling, with no confirmation that Charlie Kirk would be assassinated. They just put this out there because this is what they heard from somebody close to Charlie. So the tweet was actually in response to Ian Carroll saying, yo, Charlie Kirk and others, they can't really speak to Nick Fuentes because they fear that Nick Fuentes' message will be disseminated and the powers that be will be upset at them. Well, that was confirmed by Harrison. Harrison said, yo, I'm not gonna name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. Now, what's the one way that you're gonna get BB on your bad side? Well, if you platform Nick Fuentes and let Nick Fuentes utilize your millions of followers to
They trying to make this shit look like it's like it's already it's bro. The man ain't been he ain't been dead 73 hours yet, and we already got conspiracy theories, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life, bro. This damn near like John F. Kennedy, bro. This damn near like John F. Kennedy got unalive, bro. Like the way they set that thing up and put it in that pocket, bro. Like it was a pocket. Like, bro, whoever did that, they knew exactly what they was doing. And the dude that they looking for now, I don't think that's the person, bro. The dude that they're looking for, hey, what's up? But the dude that they're looking for right now, I don't think that's the actual person, bro. That looked like a young, like it just. I really don't think that was the person.
disseminate his message about BB. When Charlie passed away, this tweet began to resurface. I think the tweet initially had about like 1 million views.
Damn,
After,
son.
like Charlie's death within a few hours is probably like 10 million. So Harrison was forced to make a video addressing what he said in that tweet. And here's what he had to say.
I wanted to make a video at least to talk a little bit about my tweet that's gone completely viral from last month. It's now the #1 tweet on anything Benjamin Netanyahu is posting. So thanks, guys. Really glad I'm on his radar now. That's cool.
So they saying a month ago, bro, this man said that somebody was gonna try to hurt this man, and on the 10th day of the next month, they say he put it out on the 13th. So he was unalive on the 10th. Today is the 11th. This is crazy, bro.
But it's true. I mean, I don't really have too much to add to it, honestly. I'm not going to say who it was that told me because they asked me not to, kind of for obvious reasons. So if they want to go public, they're more than welcome to. I don't have much to add to it other than basically like a month ago, I watched an interview with Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk, and I thought they looked scared, and I commented on that, made a video out of it. And then like a day or so later, I was talking to this person, and the way I remember the conversation going was that we were just talking about sort of Israel and Zionism and Zionist influencers, and Charlie Kirk came up, and I remember the other person saying to me, well, you know, Charlie Kirk says he's afraid to go against Israel because he thinks they might kill him. And I said, that's crazy because I just made that video about how Charlie Kirk seems scared. That's crazy that you're saying that right now. And that's the way the conversation I remember it going. It may have been the other way around. I may have said they look scared, and they said, well, you know, he says he thinks, Israel will kill him for going against him.
Come on now, dog.
But then
Come on, man.
We moved on. I don't really have any more information other than that.
Let's unpack this real quick. Now, this is all theory, by the way. This is just opinions. I have no credible evidence that BB and Israel will want Charlie Kirk gone. This is just me entertaining the theory if this is true.
Oh, this
So
alleged.
one thing America has been united on, if you look over the last 4 years, the one thing that both sides, rather is conservatives, rather is liberals, rather is black, rather is white, rather is Mexican, rather is Japanese. The one thing America has been united on is we do not want to fight any foreign wars on behalf of Israel. We don't want to get involved, bro. We don't want our troops over there dying. We don't want our resources going to an act of genocide. We don't want to partake in that. We believe is bad for business. BB's approval rate has been at an all-time low for a while now, but it hit a new record low when he bombed Qatar. Once the Qatar bombing happened, that's when you begin to see even the boomers who have been lifelong BB supporters, even they say, yeah, you are a lunatic, bro. You are a maniac. You're going too far. And BB, for the first time in his life, over the last year or two, has been seeing that he don't have the white Christian national support no more, bro. And the one thing we know for a fact is not a theory anymore, but it's a fact that BB has been desperate to get the white Christian national support back. He's been doing podcasts with far-right conservatives who he believes have an audience that includes white Christian nationalists. He's been talking to any and everyone that you probably would not expect for a world leader to be talking to. He's been talking to them because he's desperate. So what's a better way? Now, this is where the theory and opinion comes into play.
Come on, man.
What's a better way to regalvanize that community back on your side and make them think that y'all are fighting the same fight? If you take out their savior, Charlie Kirk, and then the day that Charlie Kirk gets taken out, you go on national television with a letter that claims, hey, Charlie Kirk wrote me this letter and said his life mission is to re-galvanize his community back around Israel. And oh, by the way, not only was Charlie Kirk's life mission to make us support Israel, but the same people who took out Charlie Kirk are the same people who try to take me out. And I'm fighting those people and I'm trying to get back revenge and I'm trying to get them too. So we're on the same team now. It feels like a long game and a long play here. Now, a lot of other people, not just myself, but I even seen Patrick Bet-David. Even he was flirting with the idea that maybe a foreign country had a hand in this as well.
What's at the top of the list of your concerns in terms of who did it and why?
So let's process that. Let's look at all the options of who this could be. One, somebody who was just upset after the last 48 hours of what happened, all the divisiveness of the shooting, of the murder of Irina, the Ukrainian young lady. And so somebody may have said, you know what, screw you, Charlie, you've been going too tough. And came and took him out. Okay, that's one. Number two, it could be somebody that has been plotting to take out Charlie for a couple of years and he's been planning for this because he's the opposing side. Okay, great. Number three, it could be a controlled opposition of somebody that's been funding it for this to happen.
This is crazy. Like, it's that many people that don't like this man. This is crazy. Y'all run them like
They were trying to fund their patsy. Great. Number four, it could be in the next few days, Chris. If in the next few days, an opposing Charlie Kirk figure, I won't give names because I don't even want to put those names out there. If in the next week, an opposing person from the left gets assassinated, you have to know this is happening from an outside source, a different country that wants to see America have a civil war. We are having so many victims.
This could, bro, you heard what he said? He said this could start a civil war. This crazy, bro. Right? This man, hold on, we gotta run that back, bro. We got to run that shit back. Hold on, listen what he said. He said this shit right here could start a civil war, bro.
To happen, and they were trying to fund their patsy. Great. Number four, it could be in the next few days, Chris. If in the next few days, an opposing Charlie Kirk figure, I won't give names because I don't even want to put those names out there. If in the next week, an opposing person from the left gets assassinated, you have to know this is happening from an outside source, a different country that wants to see America have a civil war. We are having so many victories right now, so many things are happening that too many people are afraid. Too many people are respecting America again. Too many people are afraid of America again, like in a respectful way. These are some of the things I have. And by the way, I'm purely speculating, just like any businessman will do, any investor will do. I'm not, it's one or the other. I'm just saying, I wonder what it is, but those are some of the options.
Honestly, BB is being thrown out there because he's BB. He's involved in a lot. But this could have came from anywhere. This came from, I don't know, Iran. This could have came from anywhere. You never know exactly who's involved. Bro, we're up against an evil infrastructure, bro. The Matrix is evil.
Bro, this shit, I just said, it's like an evil Marvel villain. Like, it's like, this shit like an evil Marvel villain came through, took this man's life, and went out in the shadows, just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro. Like, it was like a villain in a superhero movie. Took somebody's life out, just faded out in the shadows. Like, I ain't seen this shit in a long time, bro.
Simple as that. Now, they released...
It's people, like, listen, it's people get killed every day. People kill themselves, people kill other people. It be people getting mass shootings, all that, all this stuff. It happens. But This right here, this different, bro. This like some murder mystery, super villain type shit, bro. Like, and we like at this point, we're holding on to every minute because we don't even know who did this shit. That motherfucker be eating at McDonald's right next to you and you won't even know.
Yet another suspect, but we don't know if this is just yet another person they're about to identify just to interrogate and then let go, as they've done for 3 other people. But apparently it's a little bit more serious because the FBI has put a $100,000 reward for anyone with information leading to the shooter of Charlie Kirk. Now, it's unclear if they're talking about this guy right here, if we have to identify him, because so far he's just a person of interest in connection. They didn't say he was the shooter or killer, he's just a person of interest, right? They put in 3 other persons of interest. So right now, if the FBI is having this bad of a time finding out who did it, because the initial description of who the shooter was, they said he was in camo, but he was in like fatigue, military cloth. This dude is walking around in jeans, a shirt, and a hat. He doesn't fit the description they initially gave. And the FBI has been given a lot of inconsistency. So if somebody is savvy enough to trick the FBI, this has to come from somebody who's a professional. I think a former FBI personality or a former law enforcement personality, for sure, he like did, I think Fox News or he did the news, and he even said, based on his expertise, this hit 100% had to have been done by somebody with professional capabilities.
I think this assassination, different than the assassinated attempt back in Butler, Pennsylvania, was a very well planned, very well orchestrated plot.
Bro, the craziest part is when this man was unalived or whatever, they was asking him about mass school shootings. Something about some transistor radios with a mass shooting. And the moment he said something about gang violence, his life was over. That right there, bro, like that shit just seemed like a setup, bro, to me.
That was put in motion days before, and this individual had a plan of escape to elude detection of being up on a rooftop and also being able to evade and elude law enforcement after that shot was taken. When you take a look at what happened.
So they're basically saying the person who did this, they know what they was doing. They got the shot, they did what they were supposed to do, and they got away. And we still don't know who it is, bro. Like, you could be in the grocery store tomorrow and this man buying grapes, a bag of grapes next to you, and you don't even know it's him.
In Butler, Pennsylvania, Crooks came onto the venue. He left the venue. He came back. He was questioned. I mean, it was really an amateur scenario. This assassination of Charlie Kirk, to me, is indicative of a professional hit. And I'm not so sure that we are going to quickly be able to apprehend this individual without some luck, hopefully.
When you say professional hit, what do you mean by that exactly? Do you mean one shot, one kill, escape already planned and at large?
Basically, that's what I just said.
Clean, yes.
That's what I just said.
Be done by anybody with any sort of basic training?
Well, when you take a look at the video, you take a look at the venue and the spectators and how close they are to Charlie Kirk, and then you have that kind of like umbrella over him, that kind of tent, you have to know that this shooter had to be perched in a position with respect to being able to lay his sights perfectly, basically, a headshot.
Regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk, this is bigger than Charlie Kirk. This is not about Charlie Kirk, man.
The only thing I'm glad that man, they hit this man in his neck, and it was horrible. I didn't want to see that shit, like, and it happened. But I'm just glad they didn't hit him in his face in front of everybody. That's the only thing I can take away from this right here. This is horrible. This is horrible. I'm glad they hit him in his neck, and that we could like, I can't even deal with that. Like, I can't deal with it. It's horrible, dog. What's up? What's up, folks? But yeah, this is, I can't deal with this shit, bro. Like,
American, you have to be
like, it just, like, bro, I'm like the type of person I am, bro. Like, I don't go for the hate. I'm not a hateful person. I don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like me, that's cool, bro. You know, we could stay away from each other. If you don't fuck with me, if you don't like me. But this right here, this shit hit different, bro.
Worried, man, that the sovereignty of our nation may be in trouble. If a foreign nation did this to make us go against each other, to start us up.
I'm just gonna say straight up, I don't want nothing to happen to nobody.
Well,
if you like me, you don't like me.
Then it's working. They're doing a great job at it, because you have people like Steven Crowder, who is coming to his platform where he's advocating for a Democrat to be next. As if that will solve anything. As if that won't just cause more bloodshed. And as an American, bro, if you love Charlie Kirk, it's okay to be angry. If you didn't like him, it's okay to just keep your feelings to yourself and not root for this, man. Because
at the end of the day, bro, I feel
we don't know what the plan.
I feel what he's saying. Like, he's like, bro, if you liked him or you didn't like him, it's almost like Charleston White. Whatever Charleston White do, hey, bro, the man living this life. I don't want to see nothing happen to him. Candace Owens, I love her as a person. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's a real person. She have her thoughts. I got my thoughts. We're two totally different people. We might not agree on everything, but I would never want to see nothing happen to her like this. Like, this is, nah, bro. We ain't doing this here, bro.
Yes, we're up against great evil. We're up against the powers that be, an evil infrastructure. And what I can say, man, as Americans, bro, our freedom has always been the one thing that made us stand apart from everybody else. And the moment that's threatened, the moment that thing is put in jeopardy, all Americans should be on the side of protecting our freedom.
That's it.
Protecting freedom of speech.
That's it.
We should not be celebrating anybody dying for giving opinions.
That's it, bro. Like, I just said it, bro. Like, you can't, bro, he might think different from you, but we're not taking nobody's life out here, bro. It's not that serious, bro. I'm going to go to sleep that night, and I'm going to sleep like a baby, and I ain't even going to even think about any type of debate that we had and whatever, bro. We ain't doing all that, bro. We ain't doing that. We about to do Law and Order Crime. I think this is when it first happened. We want to see what they
We have breaking news. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk has been killed after being shot in the neck during an outdoor rally on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. We have the latest confirmed information in this special breaking edition of On the Case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Breaking details are still coming in on this story, but President Donald Trump just said that Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, is dead after he was shot at an event today outside Salt Lake City in Orem, Utah. Here's the post on Truth Social the president put out, writing that the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. Now, Charlie Kirk was a conservative activist, very active on social media, and a major supporter of Donald Trump. He became one of the young...
Bro, this shit right here finna shift the timeline. Like, this right here gonna shift the definite timeline right now, bro. Like, bro, shit about to get different, bro, after this right here, bro.
Faces of the MAGA movement. And he was one of the founders of Turning Point USA, a major political nonprofit that advocated for conservative causes. Kirk had been on his American comeback tour. He was going to colleges across the country and speaking on campus. And one of those stops today at Utah Valley University. It's in Orem, Utah. It's about 45 minutes south of Salt Lake. And it's a school of about 45,000 kids, and thousands of people were listening to Kirk speak at the time that he was shot. Now, at the time of this reporting, police say a suspect is still on the loose. Originally, there was a campus alert that went out saying that there was a suspect in custody. Then you had videos circulating on social media of an older man being detained. It is unclear what the circumstances were around that, but it is being...
So they have apprehended, I think, 3 people and let all 3 of them go, allegedly. All this alleged.
Reported that man is not the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk. A school spokesperson told the New York Times that a single shot was fired at Kirk from a building on campus about 200 yards away from where Kirk was seated. According to the school as well, Kirk was taken by his security team off of campus. Now, there is video circulating on social media of the shooting and of the moment that Charlie Kirk was killed. And we cannot show you that video. It is just too graphic to show it here. It is incredibly disturbing, but in that video, you can see that Kirk is hit. He reacts to being shot, falling out of his chair. You can hear that single gunshot being fired. You also see the bullet hit Kirk in the video, and you see blood leave his body. Then there's just chaos of the thousands of students and people who came to hear him speak, running for safety. Now, one of our employees here at Law and Crime has a family member who goes to Utah Valley University, and here are the text messages that they sent to each other in the moments after this shooting. You can see that she says that she's okay. Quote, "I'm hiding right now. I love you." She explained there was a shooting and that she was okay, but she also said that the school was now on lockdown and that she was in hiding with other people. Earlier today,
This, audio is accredited to Law and Crime Network.
right as this news was breaking, I spoke to retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt. We spoke before the news broke that Kirk was dead. And at the time, it was being reported that a shooter was in custody. We talked a lot about what this investigation will look like going forward and what charges a shooter, if and when they're arrested, what they could face. Here's our conversation. Joining us now is retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt. Always great to have you on Law and Crime, and thanks for being with us as so much information is developing right now. We know that there are students that are in lockdown right now on this campus. For those who are responding to this now in law enforcement, what are they doing at this point of the response?
Well, from what I understand online, they may have already have a suspect in custody, but one of the big problems when you have a shooting in an outdoor venue is you have self-deployment and lots of law enforcement showing up to the scene and basically having to be organized. So most likely the Utah State Police are already set up a command post to bring the people to the one spot where they can organize their crime scene investigators, and then they're going to basically span out, start interviewing people, and determine whether he's a lone shooter or there's more people involved in a conspiracy.
And that was going to be my next question: is the and I know law enforcement trains for this, but there's that chaos of so many people that were in this like college quad. They're running. This one person hears, we don't know his identity at this point, is in custody. How do you make sure in all of that chaos that there isn't someone else who is part of this?
Well, you really can't. When you have, it looks to be about 5,000 to 10,000 people running in all different directions. The only thing you do is you got to start at the source, which is the shooter. They have him immediately identified. It looks like he may have made the shot from within the crowd. And the people, probably it's going to come out that people around him took him into custody, so to speak, or held him. But then the next step would be to do a logical investigation in terms of interviewing him, get his cell phone, do some cell phone analytics, and then talk to the people around there, and then frankly to determine if there is somebody that financed him or put him up to this, or if he's just a lone shooter.
So all of the people who are watching this, I mean, this story broke probably for
all this shit about to come out, bro. Like that, we're gonna find out. Well, like if they catch, if it's a big if they catch the person. They'll be able to pretty much find out everything, but was the person that already unalived themselves? Then what? We left with no answers, just like Epstein.
us within the last 10 or 15 minutes, so it's really within the hour. It appears that this has happened. How quickly do you start asking questions of that suspect?
Well, they're going to have to be careful because you don't want to prompt him to lawyer up, so to speak, even though that is his right. You want to get some professionals there, or get him in a car, get him aside, and basically start talking to him immediately to get a confession, so to speak. You know, he's in custody, so it'll be an interrogation, so he has to be read his Miranda rights. And basically, the most important thing for them to find out is was he alone, or is there more people? From the pictures online, if that indeed is the suspect, he looked to be about 65 to 70, white male, older gentleman. So I suspect he's a lone shooter, and this has been something that's brewing within him for a long time, and they're gonna find all those things out.
And it's crazy because that wasn't, you know, we gotta go 14 minutes ago. This MSNBC. Let's see what this is about. It's probably just talking about the whole thing, but we're trying to figure out who is the person.
We are, of course, following the breaking news out of Utah right now. And I just want to sort of clarify where we are right now. There was back and forth about whether a suspect, a person of interest, or a subject had been apprehended. There was an individual in custody. Just moments ago, we got information from FBI Director Kash Patel that that person has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement, which would lead one to conclude that the suspect, whoever pulled this off, whoever committed this heinous act, is at large presently. At the moment, we are, of course, going to continue following this situation. I want to bring in Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat of the state of Connecticut. He has, of course, experienced horrific gun violence in his own state and is author of the book, The Violence Inside Us, A Brief History of an Ongoing American Tragedy. Senator, I wish that we did not have such regular occasions to speak in the aftermath of something, a wrenching and horrible act of violence, but we are here. Again, your thoughts about what we have seen happen today.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think about is Charlie Kirk's family, having spent way too much time with.
You gotta think about the man's family. He got 2 children. They're younger than 5 years old, and they watch their daddy get unalive. Like I keep saying, like, bro, it don't matter about how somebody feels about you. It's crazy right now, bro. It's some other stuff right here, bro. This on another level right here, bro. Like
the sons and daughters and mothers and fathers of those who have fallen from gun violence. There's just no words to describe what they're going through right now. Nobody should have to live through this horror. But I'm certainly thinking about the quickening pace of political violence in this country. In an extraordinarily short amount of time, you've seen the murder of state legislators in Minnesota, attempted assassinations of the President of the United States. Obviously, January 6th still lives in our very present memory. And we've got to have a conversation about how we draw a line here, and we can't afford to argue who's more at risk, the right or the left. The fact of the matter is,
basically the man saying enough is enough. he said enough is enough, and that's what he trying to tell y'all, bro. Enough is enough, bro. Like, are y'all not tired of being divided? Are y'all not tired of being divided? Do y'all want to come together as a country? Because this right here, bro, it make me see that this whole Democratic Republican stuff, bro, we need to come together, bro. We need to try to work together because at this point, it like this right here, this ain't making sense. This don't make sense.
The shots are being fired at political figures, whether they are Republicans or Democrats. There has been a permissiveness about political violence, and I do think the President of the United States has to answer for the way in which he's created that culture of permissiveness, but there have been elements of the left who have...
How the hell Donald Trump got an answer to this shit, man? It's just like they trying to blame everything on Trump right now, bro. Like, I mean, bro, he was Trump homeboy, but you can't put how, like, that's just like, it might be 10 or 15 people in my life right now that feel how I feel. And you do something to them because of how I feel. How can you put it on me, bro? Like,
lionized and celebrated violence as well. And this is a moment for everybody to assess where we are and recognize that our entire democratic experiment is going to crumble if people don't believe that they're safe when they express their political views.
Yeah, that's very foundational. I just wanted to note here, and we've been noting it tonight, that we don't yet know who did this. We don't know their motives. And it very well may be, as was the case, I think, in the wake of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, that those motives or politics were illegible, inscrutable, something of a black box. And that's part of the context here. Although the point that you make there, I think part of the reason we've seen such universal and unanimous condemnation, immediate, heartfelt, unanimous, is precisely because I think everyone understands that we feel like we're on the precipice of something that is not the sort of democratic society that we all believe in and want to have.
Yeah, that's right. And we do not yet know the motive here. I did hear the governor of Utah, somebody that I generally trust, call this a political assassination. Maybe he has information that the rest of us don't. But yes, and I think this requires a really deep dive into how we've arrived at this moment. It is about the celebration of violence that happens, the rationalization of violence, but it's also about a country.
So what if this shit was like, what if it was just like somebody that commented on his page? We'll say that. We'll just say it's somebody that commented and he made a certain comment back that they didn't like. Because us as YouTubers, like I'm a YouTuber, us as YouTubers, like somebody could take the way you think about something and turn that shit into something totally different, bro. Like, and have you in the crosshairs or something that you really don't want to be in, bro.
Where political identity has become really ahistorically central to the way in which we wake up every day and find meaning and purpose. And that's because a lot of other healthier identities, family identity, work identity, local identity, have become less accessible. So we look today at the left or the right as the enemy. And it's worth us to...
Bruh, y'all need to use the left, the right, form some wings and fly together as far as, you know, what y'all doing out here, bro. Y'all need to fly together because it seemed like, it looked like the Titanic It look like they just sending it out and they know it's gonna go down.
Coming back and understanding how we reclaim a sense of ourself that maybe is not so rooted in politics, which is inherently oppositional. And sometimes that oppositional force sort of becomes so overwhelming that it treads into violence.
There's also the security concerns, which I think haunt so much of public life now. I mean, there's that period after 9/11. I was thinking about this recently when I was, visiting a family member in a hospital and waiting online to go through a metal detector and remembering that I lived in a time when you could walk into a hospital, you could walk into an office building, right? All that went away after 9/11. We've now are used to essentially airport security in any building we enter. I and every political figure and public figure and author and professor and across the political spectrum of every ideology has sat underneath the tent with a microphone to talk to a bunch of people. That's like an essential part of what a free and open society is, and we can't let that go away.
Correct, and we also don't want to feel as if we are sort of living in a variety of different prison experiences.
Yes, right.
And I have opposed there being armed guards at my children's schools, and that is primarily because I actually think it breeds a sense of fear in children that is largely irrational. As much as this has now become an epidemic, you are still more likely in this country to be killed by a falling object than you are in a mass shooting. There's far too many mass shootings, but I don't think we want to turn our churches and our schools and our shopping malls and our movie theaters into boarded up encampments.
Yeah.
So I think it's better that we get at the underlying sources of this violence, and there's some specific conversations we have to have with respect to political violence. All of it has an underlying story about the easy access of guns, and if we just were more careful about who has access to powerful weapons in this country, we would have less need to board up a lot of our public settings.
Yeah, and it seems obviously this was a gun that was used to carry off this awful murder. Senator Chris Murphy, thanks for sharing your thoughts tonight. We're going to be right back.
Kids like us live online, but so do traffickers.
As the race to find the person who gunned down Charlie Kirk intensifies, we are now getting into what happens next. Prosecution, death penalty, legal liability. What are the biggest impacts of this killing? We are going to bring on a major guest to discuss this. One of the best legal minds on TV, CNN senior legal analyst, Elie Honig. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, so let's continue the analysis of the shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. As today, not only did the FBI release a brand new photo of a person of interest in connection with this killing and encouraging those who have information to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. By the way, in a separate post on X, the FBI announced the FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the individuals responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk on September 10th, 2025 at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Contact 1-800-CALL-FBI. And not only that, but the FBI provided more information today in a press conference about the shooter's movements, about palm prints, about the recovered weapon, tips. I encourage everybody to go check out our episode that we just put out today. I interview former CIA and FBI agent Tracy Walder all about that. And has bits, by the way, from that press conference. Really. Now, what we want to talk about right now is if and when they catch this shooter, what happens? Because actually there are a lot of potential impacts and legal impacts that we got to figure out. And I will tell you, it is shocking. It is shocking. What was supposed to be this outdoor public event attended by about 3,000 people where this conservative activist and Turning Point USA co-founder was going to just debate those in attendance, regarding politics and culture and societal views. Instead, it turned into absolute violence. The last word he said before he was shot, he was talking about shootings. How ironic is that? But the last thing he said was violence, and then he gets shot. Now these horrible events that played out yesterday, it's still, I'm not going to lie to you, it's embedded in my head, especially if you watch those videos. It's probably in yours. Those videos that circulated online, they are very hard to shake. And by the way, this comes from somebody who covers the evils of this world on a daily basis. I said this on social media yesterday. But just please think about Charlie Kirk's family and friends who now have a new reality that victims, family members, we talk about it in every case that we cover. They now have a new reality. It is a reality of pain, loss, and confusion. Please just think about it. And I say that because you also have to think about the impact that the legal consequences now will have for the family and friends of Charlie Kirk, right? The trial. At the time of this recording, law enforcement has not caught this shooter. But if and when they do, what happens next? How do you ensure a successful prosecution? What are they doing now? We're talking the death penalty. That's on the table potentially. 2 people were detained yesterday. What about them? Oh, and Utah Valley University? Do they face some questions regarding security? CBS News reporting that according to a university spokeswoman, that single shot through Charlie Kirk's neck that ended up killing him, that was fired from a nearby building 200 yards away. We heard from the FBI. The shooter went to that roof. This is a building that houses student support services and resources. How was he able to get up there? I say all that, but now I want to bring on an incredibly special guest to Sidebar, somebody who hasn't been on here before. I'm going to talk to him about potential legal consequences, the impact here. We are joined by who I will say, in my opinion, is arguably one of the best legal analysts in our business. One of the best I've ever seen. CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig, who previously, by the way, worked for 14 years as a federal and state prosecutor. And most importantly, the reason we were able to get Ellie on here today is because he is the author of an incredible new book. He gave me an early copy. Do I feel special? Yes, I feel special. It's called, let's start it right now, When You Come at the King, Inside DOJ's Pursuit of the President from Nixon to Trump. And Ellie Honig joins me right here. Ellie, so good to see you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for that very kind introduction. You and I, by the way, share the distinction of both being Dan Abrams' Phillies, right? Like on Sirius XM. And I will get calls sometimes where they'll go, Jesse, it's so great when you fill it. I go, well, close enough, but that's the other guy.
You don't just say thank you.
Sometimes I just roll with it. I don't even, I'll take it. But thank you for that. By the way, we'll talk more about Charlie Kirk's scenario, but I totally feel the same way as you. I'm physically disgusted by what happened. And you're right that you have to think about the victims. I mean, look, I've prosecuted murder cases, I've seen scenes, I've seen autopsies, you name it. And it's deeply traumatizing, and I wish people would respect that.
And, you talk about killings all the time. You talk about crimes. To see it, I mean, we don't always get video proof of the killing, right? A lot of times we don't even have the crime scene photos. What we saw yesterday, I am praying that his family never saw it.
I agree. And
really
you can't stop people from posting it, but the media, the social media sites can take it down.
By the way, we've been trying to capture all of these pressers and announcements as quickly as possible. One of the things that can help us is something called Applaud AI, and the new product, the Note Pro. Really great for meetings. The Note Pro is an AI meeting assistant. It's about the size of a credit card, it's slim, it's portable, and you can perfectly integrate it with your phone. That's on right back there. So one of the things that it's great for is brainstorming sessions. When we're planning new episodes or interviews, it picks up voices from up to 16 feet away. It filters out background noise. It can record nonstop for up to 50 hours. But here's the real game changer. It captures absolutely everything: audio, pictures, written notes, highlights, and then the app turns it all into these structured summaries with insights and clear to-dos that you can share with your team. And with Ask Claude, it's like having a second brain. You can draft follow-up emails, pull data reports, help with the brainstorming, all based on the context of your meetings. Plus, Note Pro gives you peace of mind. There's a display screen that shows your recording status. It has Apple Find My. It has fast file transfer, and it meets the highest privacy standards. So I feel secure using it with the most sensitive of topics. And if you're like me and you want to make the most of your time, it's time to try the Claude No Pro. Right now, you can get 10% off Claude's other features, Note and NotePin, with code Jesse. Just click the link. Click the link below or scan the QR code on screen. We're going to talk about, okay, well, what kind of evidence that might be on the trial. But first I have to talk about the book. So I started reading it, it's awesome. And I was telling you, I didn't know exactly what it was going to be about. I thought it was only going to be about current investigations, but you discussed everything. So you discussed Watergate, you discussed Bill Clinton and Ken Starr, James Comey and Hillary Clinton, the investigations of Robert Mueller, Jack Smith, John Durham, Robert Hur, David Weiss. You talk about the importance of the special counsel office in general. Why did you write this book? So I love telling the stories, right? I've covered a few of these, right? Since everything from Mueller on, I've covered.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna try to go a couple more minutes, about 4 more minutes. I just want to get to an hour, and we'll go from there. I'll probably come back, do some live. Some shorts, and maybe another.
Good morning. I'm Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I'd be remiss if we didn't start off today recognizing the significance of the day. Historically on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., Brooklyn influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they face scrutiny, they face threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We asked them to do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, from university, our federal partners with the FBI and the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we had involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Last night, we were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled.
It just sounded like a setup. Like he was able to just sit there, go up there, sit up there, do whatever he wanted to do. Sit on this man, take his life, and get away. And y'all arresting old men with their pants falling down. Like that part right there kind of blew me a little bit. Y'all arrest a nigga with their pants falling off their ass. If you don't got a belt on, how the hell you gonna do? Y'all arrested an old man with his pants falling down. I don't get that one. Like I'm going to
Off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
So listen, y'all, we about to come at this. We might come at this a little bit later on, probably about another hour or so. Man, y'all kicking me in the Karma Cafe. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, definitely hit notification bell. In no way are we trying to make light of the situation. This man lost his life. Rest in peace to him. Pray for his family. He got 2 small young kids. Y'all gotta, we're gonna have to change the way we think in the world about disagreements and differences. And because I don't think the way you think, I can just do whatever I want to do. We got to get away from that. It's called a democracy for a reason. But yeah, man, rest in peace to this man, bro. We coming back. Y'all kicking me in the Karma Cafe. Like, subscribe, share, notification. Peace on one.